Our Honorable Imam Sheikh Abbas Fufana, Imam of the Liberian community in the UK, residing in Manchester, United Kingdom, here present. Honorable Ayuba, who is also the head of Ulouk social department, looking after our social activities and entertainment in our communities. We have Roland Kezelibala, who is the Secretary General for the Union of All Liberian Organizations in the UK. We have Sister Kolu Masakwe, who is a nurse and retired nurse and hard-working community member within the Liberian community, residing in Bradford, here present. All of our attendees and those who will follow the minutes of this particular meeting. It's a special meeting. My name is Reverend Dr. Akoi Masayambazi, and today we are here to a call from Ulouk to discuss on promoting and respecting our differences, as well as celebrating our commonalities. So this meeting is the Union of All Liberian Organizations Religious and Interfaith Council meeting, the first meeting ever in the United Kingdom. So today we are going to discuss Ulouk's aim to promote respect and collaboration between different faiths and religious groups in the Liberian communities in the UK. So the discussion today, we hope to achieve a common ground that will bring us together as religious leaders in moving our community forward. So basically, I'll be giving a brief history of some of the things that are going on in Liberia and how that will impact this formation. It is very important that we have a strong and solid foundation moving forward, because interfaith activities are pretty much complex in themselves. So with a little bit of clarity to get people set up for success is an absolute necessity. So let's talk a little bit about Liberia. So majority of the population of Liberia, let's say 85% of the population of our country, Liberia, practice Christianity. So we're talking about interfaith here. So 85.5% practice Christianity. Now, Islam is the next most popular religion, and Muslims account of 12.2% of the population of Liberia. So largely coming from the Mandingo and the Va ethnic groups in Liberia. In other words, most Muslims are Malike, Sunni, with sizable Shia and as well as the Ahmadiyya minorities. So smaller Muslim ethnic groups are the Pede, the Bandi, and others. We also know that only 0.5% of the population practice traditional indigenous religion. So the traditional indigenous religion is very, very low, 0.5%. And while a small percentage of 1.4 don't adhere to any religious faith. So no religion, no faith group. It's just they don't adhere to any of the faith. So that's a small minority of 1.4, which is more than the percentage of the traditional religion. For Liberia, the current population, according to the UN statistics, as I know, I work for the UN, so I'm bringing statistics that are not being confirmed yet for Liberia, because we need to have a census to be able to know, actually, in that kind of a confirmed way, that we have a population of Liberia. But what the UN has predicted for 2020, we have 5,112,296. That's the population of Liberia predicted by the UN. That is based on the projection of the latest United Nations data. So the latest United Nations data states that Liberia is now 5 million. So the UN estimated, for example, in July 1, 2020, that the population of Liberia was about 5,057,681. So it's just around 5 million. But we can only compare that to 2019 population, which was estimated around 4 million. Most Liberians will say we have 4 million population, but 4,939,374 people at the May year, according to the UNHCR or UN data. So Liberia population is equivalent to 0.06% of the total world population. So 0.06% of the total world population. So Liberia ranked the number 123 in the list of countries. So we're talking about interdependency by population. So the total life expectancy in Liberia, as again mentioned by the UN, is 57 years. So people can live up to 57 years of life expectancy in Liberia. But this is below the average life expectancy at birth at the global population, which is about 71 years. So Liberia is lower, and the average is 71 by the global population. So that's again according to the population division of the Department of Economics and Social Affairs of the United Nations. So precisely in Liberia, the men life expectancy is at 55.4. So even though we are at 57, but the men will go at 55.4 average. So that is just a kind of a population we have, including our religious group, and there are other faith groups. For example, we have the Hindus, we have the Buddhists. Those are very minority groups that are in Liberia. That's about people traveling to Liberia from different countries, of course. So that is important. But the largest population of faith group will be Christian. The next is Muslim. So the question here today, we're going to ask ourselves, as attendees to this conference, how then does that religious influence, in addressing humanitarian concerns? So the population we have and our work together, how would that influence the addressing humanitarian concerns? So the religion, for example, the religion has also, the religion of Liberia, different religion, as I said, they have had huge influence in addressing humanitarian concerns. So you may talk about the humanitarian work that are going on in Liberia from faith groups. All of those things have got very, very huge influence with that in Liberia. So we also know that Liberia is not the only country that's trying to have kind of a united front to address humanitarian concern through religious groups. So we know that 27 years ago, that's in 1993, at that time Liberia was still at war, or just about trying to find their feet on terms of peace. It was the first time in history that representative of the world's major religion agreed that there are common ethical commitment that is fundamental to each of their beliefs. So the Parliament of World Religion was created to cultivate shared harmony. So the whole big world religion on the bigger stage, the Christianity, the Islam, and other big world religion came together and said, look, there is a need for us to have kind of a commonalities, respect our differences, but celebrate our common goals. And those some of the things that they drew as kind of a consensus that all faith groups will allude to, where, for example, they were talking about human beings should be treated humanly, that is equal worth of dignity for all. So everybody should be treated with equal of dignity regardless of their background. So that was the first one. The second one was more of a golden rule of reciprocity. So do unto others what you expect to be done unto you. So when all the faith group believe that the way you treat other people, you should expect them to treat you like that, then there will be a common ground of harmony and respect for all. Thirdly, we're talking about commitment to peace and justice. So we're not going to sit down and just pray. We were going to make sure that we have peace education, but we get ourselves on the front to make sure that we are making peace, and we are preventing conflict and making sure that everybody working together in one accord. To practically implement the above ethical responsibility, even though they were all said, what happened was that 10 years ago in 2010, the war Interfaith Harmony Week was also agreed for communities and individuals to host event in, for example, in February, to help neighbors of different faith get to know each other and build a foundation for more peaceful and friendly communities. So they say, well, we have shared a lot. It is good to say, but we need to make sure that we have a day that every interfaith community can have an event and raise awareness about peace and love and care for neighbors and doing to others what could be done for you. And that created a lot of joy. That means we didn't have to have everybody in one place. Every community can do. And this is a practical example for us as Liberians. We have Muslim and Christians majority, and we live in the same community. So it is very important that we have to celebrate these commonalities as we go. So that is the reason why we are here today. We are here today to connect with our fellow Muslim and Christians and other faith groups, but to listen and discuss interfaith value. Where are those points that we need to capitalize on? What are they that we need to be promoting? For example, we need to promote peace, respect, the admiration, to champion roles of responsible citizens, irrespective of our belief. We must be responsible. We must look after our country. We must look after our one star in the flag, so that we foster harmony and community living. So interfaith harmony, what is not interfaith harmony? Because we need to make sure that we have clarity. Interfaith harmony is not interfaith unity. This is not talking about, where we have, we all come to become Christian, we all go to become Muslim. No, that is not what we are talking about. That is a race if we try to do so. We are not also asking people to avoid their unique way of doing things. That is not a problem. We don't want to alleviate anything that you are doing. You're going to maintain what you are doing, but we're going to fish out the things that we have in common. So interfaith harmony is about celebrating and appreciating interfaith communities and value, as well as respecting interfaith differences and diversity. So those are important words, diversity, that those interfaith differences that we have between Christians, Muslims, and other faith groups. So just to give some world statistics, it may interest you to know that there are some 4,300 religious, religions of the world, compared to 6,800 living languages spoken somewhere in the world. So we have more languages compared to religion, and that was done research that was given to us from Sydney in Australia. So research also showed that religion has two major things in common. The world religion got two major things in common. And when we capitalize on those commonalities, then we have fewer conflict and divisiveness. So for example, the research shows that every religious community have a sense of community. There is a reason for people to meet together and share greatness and love one another and look after one another. The other thing is there is a bigger need, unanimous need for concern with humanity condition. So everybody is aware that when there is war, regardless of our faith and our differences, our God is not a Muslim, our God is not a Christian, our God is not a Buddhist, our God become a God of humanity. And if and only if we all capitalize on that, then we will go with no segregation, no discrimination, but whether to fight and address humanity concerns. So the issues are, the challenges for us are the source and the resourcing of religion. So many people, how the source of their religion and the resourcing, so the foundation of their religion and how they are the champions, the advocate of their religion, how they are preaching their messages, the philosophy, the theological, spiritual teaching, those perspectives that they are teaching, that is the issue. So when we kind of see the basic, the value of our religion, then of course we will teach our sources, those people who are resourcing, those people who are preaching religious extremism, those people who are preaching hatred, they will understand that the foundation of their religion is nothing about hatred, it is about bringing people together. So we understand very clearly that, irrespective of your background, those areas should be taken. So we must be made aware that every religious resources need explanation. So when someone is talking about love and care, they need explanation, but then every explanation also needs translation. So there where the issues are. So every translation needs interpretation, and every interpretation is defined by the context, including the language, the culture, the environment, and the frequencies of the message. So therefore, what is source of your faith and let our resources be tested by the source of our faith. So if, for example, Islam and Christianity based on love and reciprocity of kindness, if that is the source that should be preached, love, peace, and unity should be preached. Forget about those things that you feel, those opinions that you have, they are no longer relevant. We should go to the source so that they are correctly interpreted based on the sources of those religions. So today, I wanted to challenge us today to let us come to our community and create religious environment in which the religion is human-centric. So in other words, the religion serve and guard and build human characters with deeper sense of community and greater concern for humanity condition. When we capitalize on those things, we have a way forward. We know that functional religion is the heart of addressing humanity concern. This is not just about what you preach indoor. If it is functional, it must meet the needs of people. It must be able to look after people and their various needs and building their characters. So the messages we are preaching including kindness, mercy, love, care, sympathy, empathy, charity, generosity, goodwill, and that is clear in the Quran. It's clear in the Bible. For example, in the Bible, Acts 2:42 to 47, they all came together and cared for one another. So I am a product of Interfaith. During the war, I attended, even though as a Christian, I attended and did my first bookkeeping qualification from the African Muslim Agency. They didn't ask me to become a Muslim. They treated me based on my need as a human being. So I think that there should be any religion strive to have positive influence on human character. Building this kind of a united front is very important. So say religion must be human-centric. See the brilliant motto of the Ahmadi, for example, love for all, hate for none. So we are together in this. We should respect one another and make sure that the needs are. So with the Liberian community in the UK, Ulouk Religious and Interfaith Council will be established to bring forces together. We pray for our country. Regardless of what God we serve, we will believe in, but we pray for peace and unity in our country. We want to pray that we are able to work together to address the needs of those who are in need, humanity concern. We want to hold our leaders responsible, to make them to believe that God instituted leadership, and you cannot turn your back on your God when we have put you in there through voting or election. So it is very important that we work together in the UK and we work together everywhere else to do what we have to do. So I want to say thank you so much for listening today. You are all welcome to join here. We are all welcome to promote this particular journey, and we'll be in touch with the church council in Liberia. We'll be making sure that our leaders, the embassy, will be aware of what we are doing. We will take it step by step and make sure that this is working. So thank you very much. Again, this is your humble servant, Reverend Dr. Akwe Masayambazi. I'm the founder of Christ Abiding Ministries International. We are operational in the UK as well as in Liberia. Currently, we are building the worship center and a daycare center for children and young people who are left on the street so that their parents can go and fetch food in the bushes. So we want to make sure that we can look after them as much as we can and give them food to eat and help them with their homework, so that when their parents come, they can be reunited to them until we can find a home to accommodate them more sustainably. So thank you so much for listening, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.